Shoalhaven Council minutes, and I've published a written assessment of each of these councillors on my Substack account. This video is just a shorter version, and I'm going to add my own opinion on what I think the minutes show and what it suggests about how each councillor operates. Important note, it's my opinion only. It's based on public record as I read it, but reasonable people can interpret the same material differently. I'm not claiming to know anyone's private motives or what happened behind closed doors. I'm talking about patterns you can see in votes, motions, and the way the meetings are run on the videos that are on the website. If you're watching this, I strongly encourage you to do your own research on anything that is a matter of opinion. Read the minutes yourself, check the agenda papers, and compare sources. All right, let's go through them one by one. So, Mayor Patricia White. In 2025, the pattern really was around tight numbers-driven chamber where margins matter. And often the votes were 7-6, 7-5. So it'd be fair to say that the Mayor ran a very tight ship and controlled the agenda for the year. The Mayor sits at the centre of a consistent block alignment with Kemp, Casmiri, Wilkins, Proudfoot, Was Cox, now Steele, and Clancy, who is yet to say that she's no longer part of the Tribe group. But clearly I'm aware, and she's told me that she'd split with Tribe straight after the election and is now very much entrenched with the SIG group. But she denies that she is SIG, but just look at the record, it's almost unanimous votes. I see the Mayor's chairing style and urgency framing in the mayoral minutes, frequent points of order, tight management of the floor. It did come to an end with Councillor Christoulakis pushing back. I don't think the Mayor knew what hit her. So I expect to see more of that in the upcoming year. She's got a strong procedural drive and block discipline that gets decisions through. The risk is trust loss and team politics, and she seems to be a master of that, picking up from Greg Watson. I think in the upcoming year, we're going to see and continue to see a split that developed between Mayor Proudfoot and Wilkins. I believe that Wilkins and Proudfoot now control the chamber. They can beat the Mayor on any issue at any time. She made some very bad calls, particularly in trying to unseat Wilkins as the Deputy Mayor. When you win by process and numbers, do you still build legitimacy? I think the answer is no, and we'll see more of this in 2026. Councillor Luciano Casmiri, or as we know him, Lou, his general pattern has been reliable governing block vote across contested operational and budget issues. He's very much in the camp of the Mayor, except for very local issues in his own ward. That includes the Collingwood beach vegetation and traffic control services, where he broke away from the group. His other key break examples was the Banksia Street, Ilfracombe Avenue, Vincentia Road, the closure and sale. He declared a non-pecuniary interest, but he stayed in the room and voted against it when it mattered. Now, the interesting thing there is that he actually seconded the motion to sell it, so quite a strange arrangement. He's the chair of the Land Use Planning and Development Advisory Committee as the deputy. This is an interesting thing, and I think they thought that they could get control of planning mechanisms, but I think it didn't come off. So decisions have got to be made by the whole council. They do perform a screening or filtering process, but it's not as powerful as it first appeared. The silliest thing I saw all year was the idea of putting party titles on emails. Lou moved this, so now instead of just saying Councillor Shoalhaven City Council, it will say Councillor Shoalhaven Independent Group, which, as we all know, is a registered political party. So the political party moniker will now be on all the emails for everyone to see. I think they may have thought they're getting some cheap advertising out of this, but it was a waste of time in council and shows how petty things can get. His professional judgment, numbers and machinery. He's a council that holds block cohesion, except, as I say, where really local issues collide. As the planning chair, He needs better public reasoning or faster majority outcomes. So that should be a challenge. I've got other articles on the efficiency and effectiveness of each of the committees. And the other one which he has is the raceway one. And largely it's a complete waste of time and money as I see it. In the new world of the increased power of Proudfoot and Wilkins, they seem to be against Casmiri and the Mayor. Casmiri is sticking to the Mayor, but Proudfoot and Wilkins really are the power now in the chamber. They can stop the SIG block at any time with their 2 votes. An interesting time ahead in 2026. Councillor Selina Clancy. I've got history with Councillor Clancy. When she was first elected, she was very chatty with me. Then she took offence at something that I'd written. From then on, she's been constantly claiming to be a victim. Currently, I've got matters with the solicitor in terms of some of the things that she posted on her page for defamation. And I'm pretty unimpressed the way she's used a council title in communications with my former employer, the Australian Federal Police, where she could clearly verify facts without having to do that. I believe it was an act of intimidation, but that's only my opinion. In terms of her performance in council, she turns up, I think she's only been away from 1 meeting. She has been involved in a lot of motions that were carried, but because she's so close to the Mayor and deeply entrenched in the SIG group, that's what you expect. They run the council on their numbers. So some of the things that she's been involved with, the one that I don't think shows her in positive light was the daycare transition, where I think, my opinion again only, is that there was some quick footsteps to bring that to an end, and it appears to me that the Mayor may have got Councillor Clancy to do the dirty work on that. In terms of her behaviour in the chamber, again, she was complaining about not being paid enough. When you stand for public office, you know what the conditions are. It's not a job. It's a public position, which is clear. I am currently looking at some travel issues. She's starting to follow the approach of Mayor White with a lot of use of travel. She also is a big attender at conferences and is very close with the Mayor, which we saw in the appointment of Mr. Constance. She was also a Liberal supporter of Mr. Constance, and as you know, those matters are currently being looked at by the Office of Local Government. I think that's all going to end in a very nasty way. I don't think it's going to stay with the OLG. I think it'll end up with one of the other regulatory bodies within the state government. It's not a good position. I think the Mayor encourages her to continue building a CV, the Assistant Deputy Mayor, a meaningless title, but something she can put on a CV, which she seems to really like building. I don't know what her end goal is with this, but she likes awards, she likes attendance, she likes baubles. Councillor Clancy, I don't think is really much value in the chamber. I also don't like the way that she was elected as part of the tribe group, has never announced a split. She mentioned it to me in a conversation and has confirmed it, which has also been confirmed by the tribe group. She's never come clean with the electors. Her work on the coastal and estuary policy was good, but there's no guaranteed money for that. So, you know, what sort of achievement that is in the end, let's see where the money is and let's see actually what's delivered. So policy adoption isn't delivery. So her voting alignment, she's well and truly, I won't say in the Mayor's pocket, but she's so close to the Mayor, you may as well put her on a shoulder. Not at all, in my personal opinion, she's not independent. She's deeply entrenched within the SIG group. Where is the measurable roads operations delivery story? This was the big claim of SIG, and it's been abandoned, much like they're bringing an end to politics where those of political party have in fact made things worse and have played the political game very hard and very rough. Not a fan of Councillor Clancy, I'll leave it at that. Councillor Carly Dunn. In my assessment, I think she's one of the much better councillors within the council. She certainly is the pick of the councillors because she truly is independent and shows it. In my article on Substack, I said that she can't be boxed in. She's not programmable and she's independent. So she's made a number of breakaway moves to support the, if you like, the opposition, the Labor, Tribe and now Green side of the council. I'd say you can characterise her as a merit risk voter. She considers the issues, looks at the real merit and looks at the real risk and votes accordingly. The only SIG councillor that I would vote for, and she is in my ward, so she would get my vote. The other SIG party members are pretty much useless. In a 7-6 council, an unprogrammable councillor Dunn can force better management and cleaner drafting if she uses her leverage deliberately. All signs to me is that she actually is. I think there's once an alliance but a closeness with Councillor Norris, and as a result of that, she's not a predictable number for SIG, which will be even more important with Wilkins and Proudfoot. So those three can really drive the council. So Councillor Dunn, I think very high ratings for the year. Councillor Debbie Killian, who entered the council on September 25. So this assessment really only runs between, obviously, her appearance September 25 till the end of the year. She missed one of the first opportunities because she was overseas. She didn't arrive quietly. She moved multiple items and was willing to be on the losing side where she thought it mattered. I think she's a very principled councillor, very skilled, got a lot of background in public administration, and if we had more councillors like this, I think we'd be much better off than some of the wastes of space in the place, other wastes of space in the council like Steele and Kemp. I think the things that Councillor Killian will be keen on are culture, community assets and procedural governance, where she's very experienced. Her professional judgment early, she's an engaged governance operator, shows up, works detail and is not intimidated. Does she hold these standards over time, or will the chamber grind her down like it ground down Councillor Johnson? I think not. Debbie's made of tough stuff, and I'm looking forward to her contributions in 2026.